Hey you guys, how's everybody doing? Today we are live at Adobe Summit and I am here with
Jeff Allen.
Jeff. How are you doing today?
Doing well, thanks.
Excellent. I'd love to hear, Adobe had some pretty big announcements today. Tell me a little bit about what happened.
Yeah, big announcements. In the analytics space primarily, we're focused, which is what I look after, we're focused on really customer journeys and understanding your customer's journey throughout all the different touch points that they experience with your brand and as part of an experienced business.
Yeah. So, something that's been eating me a little bit is, what's the difference? There's a lot of analytics platforms out there.
Yeah.
What makes Adobe stand out in your mind?
Yeah. So our secret sauce is what we do with the data once you get it in.
Yeah.
We have better tools than anyone in the industry to help you find powerful insights in the data once you get the data to our platform. Pretty much how you bring the data in is fairly commoditized in the industry today, but once the data gets into Adobe Analytics, we can make it do more acrobatic things than anyone else in the industry.
So I'm a new business and I'm setting this up, I'm starting to get some analytics data. What should I be paying attention to? What am I not getting right now that Adobe can really help me out with?
Yeah, that's a good question. So if you think about how practitioners and brands interact with data, there's a few steps that you go through. The first step is just collecting the data, right? And I mentioned that's a fairly commoditized thing. Once you collect that data, you have to prep it. Right? It gets stored somewhere, you prep it for analysis, and then what most organizations do is they generate reports from the data, right? They kind of stock reports they've all figured out, everyone's agreed on, this is what's going to be in the reports. And for most organizations, that consumes from Monday till Friday midday.
Yeah.
And then they have a few hours left in their work week to go do something
to actually
better.
Do something with it.
Yeah, so they're generating these reports, but they're not getting to the next level of maturity, which is actually analyzing the reports, and the analysis will push out insights. And insights are what will actually become the currency in an analytics practice, right? Insights are what you can go act on to change the business. If you don't get into insights and don't actually change anything, there is no ROI. In charts and graphs. And so there's really no value to your investment in analytics unless you can get beyond that. So that's where, as a new organization, I would say, go figure out your reports and try and get past that as fast as you can.
Yeah, I mean, even in an existing organization, there's a lot of insights out there. And I found this very, very true in my life, business owner, stuff like that. I find myself just digging through the day, digging, and then I never have enough time. So that's great. What's coming up?
Well, let me comment on what you just said, actually, because this is really one of the reasons people are paralyzed by this data.
Yeah,
one of the reasons we generate these reports, right, is because we want to report every single metric we can find.
Yeah.
And there are thousands of metrics available. So, not all metrics are the same. Not all have the same impact on your business. And so what Adobe's going to do is we're going to help you get beyond that and find the insights, find the needles in the haystack that'll help you run your business differently, right? And so we showed some of that today. Right? One of the demos we showed on the stage today was showing how likely a customer is to purchase after they were at your site a day ago, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 4 days ago. And so you're kind of seeing how the customer interest decays over time. And that's one of the things in the new journey, what we call enhanced cohorts view, that we're delivering now into a new function we call Journey IQ. So Journey IQ is really about helping customers understand how people interact with their brand across the whole journey.
Now, back in the day, this used to take years to set up.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about getting my business started and getting started in that process. What type of a time commitment can I expect for my average business to get started and get running?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's one of those questions you have to answer.
It
depends. Right. So it all depends what you want to do. Right. For a basic website, right, where so one of the things you benefit from working with Adobe is that we've probably worked with a business like yours, right? We've worked with enough different kinds of businesses. We know if you're a retailer, we know how to set you up as a retailer, and we're actually going to show up, our consultants or our partners who are here at the show, we're going to show up and they're going to say, let me tell you how retailers measure their website. Let me tell you how hotel companies manage their website, an auto manufacturer, et cetera. So we're going to bring a lot of that into the conversation, but then it'll still all, again, depend. And it turns out analytics as a journey, speaking of journeys, we'll go lowercase j for journeys here. Your journey with analytics is really on a continuum of value. And so the more you invest, the more time you spend really finding those needles in the haystack, the more value you'll get out of it. But we can start to collect data off your website within just a very short amount of time, first day.
Oh, wow.
It's a JavaScript. It goes on the page. And that's, again, I mentioned that was commoditized. That's true of probably anybody else in the industry.
But it's that data intaking and walking you through the journey, as you put it, that really makes your business shine.
Yeah. So data collection, data preparation, reports, that's all commoditized, right?
Yeah.
Where we want to get you is up into the business of generating insights. Yeah. But then what you find is, now I have too many insights. Yeah. I don't have a team that can go act on 50 things. Yeah. What's the one that's going to have the most value?
Prioritizing.
And that's so, as you're constantly pursuing what's the most valuable thing I can change in my business right now today to make a difference, that's really what the game is. And that's what people walking around this show this week are trying to figure out. They're the most sophisticated brands in the world trying to figure out, how do I optimize the audiences that get to my website? How do I optimize getting them there? Yeah. And then how do I optimize once they get there, what they do to get the business outcome I want?
Love it. Now, one question that we've had on a lot of our listeners and watchers' minds is hack the bracket.
Hack the bracket. Yep.
Tell me a little bit about what's going on there. What are you guys doing?
So, hack the bracket.
This is cool. I love it.
Does your audience know what it is? Do I need to explain what it is?
Let's explain. Let's hear it.
Okay, so hack the bracket. Last year, this is a kind of a competitive commentary. Yeah. One of the things that, because Google Analytics, one of our competitors, is free, a lot of people have experienced it. Yeah. And there is a perception in the marketplace that we're really difficult to use. Correct. And Google's really easy to use. And it's not true, we're quite easy to use as well. So we decided, hey, what can we go do to give people an experience with Adobe Analytics that doesn't require them to go set up their website, like I said. And so we thought, what better data set to go play with than a bunch of basketball data around March Madness. So we licensed some basketball data from the basketball plays from the college basketball season. We did this last year. This year, we licensed 3.5 million rows of data. All the data around every shot that was taken this season. Wow. By whom? Where on the floor was it taken? What kind of shot was it? We put all that into Adobe Analytics and let our customers use it to go have better insights guiding them in how they pick their brackets this year.
I love it. Now are you using that
I did
information confidentially? Who's going to win?
Well, I have North Carolina.
All right.
Most people have Duke. One of the things we did this year is we actually simulated the entire tournament. Yep. So every game, every possible game, 10,000 times.
I love it.
So that's something like, I can't remember, it's like something like 600,000 games, right? And so when you run that simulation 10,000 times, we had Duke win the tournament about 1,800, almost 1,900 times.
Wow.
So that says, hey, there's a really good probability they'll win it.
You still bet against them. You must be a strong...
I just didn't want to be...
You didn't want to be a bandwagon.
I'm playing... No, actually, I love Duke. I love all these teams, but if you're going to win it, you got to do something different, right?
It's true.
Otherwise, if you do what's predictable, that's this year's bracket was very much a chalk bracket, right? Yeah. It turned out there were... we didn't see a lot of upsets in the making, in the data, right? They all had... That's what makes this tournament so great. They all had to actually play out. And so, Duke was the safe bet, and Sunday afternoon, a lot of people were wondering about that. They almost lost.
I was very wondering about that. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time. You guys can check out that data. We'll put it down in the comments below. Thank you very much.